Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do another bunny butt wreath tutorial for you, and these are the supplies I'm using. Today I'm going to be doing the burlap pull-through method. I start by zip tying it to the frame, and I'm just going to pull it through those two spaces in the middle of the round part of the wreath. So here I'm just going in with my zip tie, and I'm just going to attach it to the wreath. Once I have that secure, then I'm going to give myself some extra length on the burlap by unraveling it, and then I'm just going to start pulling it through those two spaces in between the middle part of that wreath frame. You just want to pull it through and scrunch it tight and push it over. It's not going to go anywhere, and you're just going to keep doing this all the way around the wreath frame. You just want to make sure that they're all about the same length. Once you get started, this does go rather fast. Once I get my first section done, I'm kind of checking it, checking the back, making sure that all of my pull-throughs are about the same length, and just making sure if I can make any improvements before I move on to the next section. Okay folks, so now I'm starting on the second section, and I'm just doing the same thing. I'm pulling through in both those spaces on the inner ring of the wreath frame until I make my way all the way around the round part of that wreath frame. Now I'm going to get started on the bunny's ears. I just started with the zip tie again, and I'm just going to wrap it around until I get to the top part of the ear. So here I'm just going to keep wrapping it until I get to the top part, and then I'm actually going to use my glue gun to glue it down and make sort of like a point at the top. And don't worry about the layers that you see of the burlap. It's not even going to be seen once you add your bow. I actually love working with burlap. It's very forgiving. Now I'm going to trim off the excess and flip it around and glue it down. This is where I was trying to figure out exactly how I wanted to glue it down, but before I do that, I'm going to get my little finger guards to help protect me from the glue gun. So I'm just going to run some glue down the back part of that seam and press it down until it's dry. For the top part of the bunny's ears, I just kind of folded it in, added some glue, and pressed it down until it was dry. Now it's time for the second bunny ear, and I'm going to do the same thing. I did not zip tie this one down because that burlap, like I said, it's not going to go anywhere. I'm just going to keep wrapping it around the bunny's ear until I make it to the top. I have this bunny garland I picked up from the Dollar Tree, so I'm using it as the bunny tail. I'm just cutting it off individually and then I'm going to trim off the bunny's ears. I'm going to add a tremendous amount of glue on the bottom of the tail and I'm going to nestle it into that burlap. Okay folks, now it's time to make a bow. I let out about an 8-inch tail and I'm going in with this plaid ribbon I purchased from the Dollar Tree last year and I'm going to make 5-inch loops. I measure my loops out on my Easy Bow Maker. Now I'm going to stagger down. I'm doing about a 4.5-inch loop for the second one, and all there is to making a bow is you loop it and then you twist it down into those 2 dowels. So I had enough of this ribbon to do 3 loops on each side, and I did have a little bit left on the roll, so I'm just going to take that off the roll and use it as tails. So I'm just going to put it down into the dowels and use it as extra tails. Now I'm going to go in with the Easter ribbon I picked up from Dollar Tree last year, and I'm just looping and twisting, and I am staggering it down. So every loop you make, you go down just a little bit, and I had just enough to do 1 loop each side of this ribbon, and when I cut it off, I'm doing the same thing I did with the plaid ribbon. I had a little strip of ribbon left, so I'm going to place that into the 2 dowels and use it as extra tails. Now I'm going in with this pink and white plaid. I purchased this from Walmart last year, and I'm just making 2 loops, one on each side with this one, And then I'm going to go in and finish it off with the green and white striped ribbon I purchased from Hobby Lobby. And I'm going to do one loop each side of the green ribbon. Okay, folks, I'm going to show you a different way to tie off your bow. I'm going to take a zip tie and I'm going to slide it under the loops on the right side, and I'm just going to get the zip tie started. The trick to this is you have to make sure that all of your loops and tails are in the actual zip tie. So I'm going to start it and I'm going to pull it out of the Easy Bow Maker. Once I pull it out, I'm going to pull it to the middle, make sure the zip tie is in the middle. Then I'm going to take the zip tie to the back of the bow. Before I crank it all the way down, I'm going to add a pipe cleaner, and because this way I have a way of attaching it to my bunny. I don't know why I do this. I do this all the time. I will sit here and fluff up a bow and just not leave well enough alone. So this is what they call breaking the bow. So I'm just moving around my loops and my tails to make sure I have it exactly the way I want it. However, it's not going to stay that way. Once I add it to the bunny, I'm going to fluff it up some more. Okay, folks, now I'm going to get my bunny. I'm going to take the pipe cleaners that I added to the bow and I'm going to feed it through the burlap. This was rather easy to do because it's very airy and holy, I guess you could say, but it did go through the burlap very smoothly. So here I'm just feeding the pipe cleaner through until I feel it come through the back, and then I'm going to flip my bunny over and I'm going to twist tie off the two pipe cleaners. I'm going to make a loop with the two pipe cleaners, a hook, I guess you could say. This way I have a way of hanging it on my door. So I'm just going to twist it around each other and then round it out. And this way I can attach it to my door. Okay, folks, now I'm going to fluff this bow again. I did smash it, so I'm flipping it back over, and I'm going to just keep on adjusting it until I have it exactly the way I want it. And I'm going to trim up the tails, and I do end up deciding to shoot two of the tails up instead of having them just all come down. So here I'm taking the green and white stripe and I'm going to shoot it up and trim it off. And then I'm also going to do that with the pink and white plaid. So I'm going to trim up my tails. Anytime you're trimming up your tails, you just want to make sure you get every single one of them. Okay, folks, this is my completed project. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.